And good evening, everybody. Again, I got about 47 minutes before I go help out Max Afterburner and his channel. If you haven't been to USA, go check him out. And good evening, everybody. He's got a great YouTube channel. He is a former United States Air Force pilot. He used to fly the F-15 Eagle, Strike Eagle. And I do believe, and I might be wrong on this one, I got the first one right, but I might be wrong here. He also flew the F-16 Fighting Falcon, I do believe. He seems to be a great man. He asked me to moderate for him, and I decided to do so. Um, and so, yeah, we're going to help him out tonight. And I might even come back on again later. Um, these are very interesting times. Who knows? This might end up turning out to be the Battle of Armageddon. This very well could be the early parts of that. But after all, the Battle of Armageddon, it'd have to be a 7-year war. And that's something that I need to let people know. People need to consider that. If you want to look at this war from a biblical prophecy standpoint, the Battle of Armageddon's not going to happen until toward the end of the Great Tribulation, the 7-year period where the Antichrist reigns and a whole bunch of other crazy stuff happens. Hold on here, I just got to do this. Um, Alrighty, almost done here. Sorry about this. All is good. Okay. All right. And so, yeah, a little bit, you guys, tonight. Again, like I said, I might even be back on later after I moderate for Max Afterburner. Man, I'll tell you what, Max Afterburner, he's awesome. I was supposed to be moderating right now, but apparently he changed the time last minute. Things happen. I totally understand that. Max Afterburner. He has a great show about planes, military planes, but now we're talking about the war. Him being involved in war in the past, has a vast experience at flying fighter jets. It's right here. Max Afterburner USA. Go get him a subscription. Check out his channel. Again, I'll be moderating for him tonight in 45 minutes from right now at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Max Afterburner. Last time I was in there, he had 13,000 people in there at once. It was insane. Try moderating 13,000 people with just you and one other guy. It was crazy. But let's get into this video, guys. This is a video, according to what it says here, is 1 hour old. Computer dismissed. Computer, I said stop. And, hey, Jenna, can you get those Cokes out of the freezer? Whoa, what happened? Okay.
First to Chief National Correspondent, Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin on this breaking news that you're reporting, Jennifer, out of Dubai. What can you tell us?
When you can.
Well, Martha, diplomatic sources tell me that the U.S. consulate in Dubai was hit by a suspected Iranian drone. It was on fire. It's not clear if that fire is still burning, but it took a direct hit, I'm told. Now, despite this attack on the U.S. consulate and also the U.S. embassy in Saudi Arabia yesterday, I'm told from a senior U.S. military source that the waves of Iranian missiles have actually slowed down quite significantly, and that is likely because of the joint U.S.-Israeli strikes on those missile launchers. The drones is a different story because they are much harder to detect and easier to launch from the backs of trucks and disguise those launches. Yesterday at the Pentagon, we were told there were 3 goals for this operation: to destroy Iran's ballistic missiles, sink Iran's navy, and make sure Iran
Welcome
never
in,
has
everybody.
a nuclear weapon.
Welcome in.
Overnight, the president expanded the U.S. mission to a 4th goal, telling the Wall Street Journal the U.S. would target
Let's get the
Iranian
Moab
proxies in the
going.
region and did not rule out ground.
I did find this out, folks, as I'm putting my window down because, it's still cold here in Michigan. I just seen this searching for things to watch about recent news from today. I just came across Benny Johnson's channel, and he's saying they used it. directed energy lasers used on battlefield for the first time in history. Pretty interesting stuff. That's crazy. Oh, here's something else I found.
Ground troops in Iran. The Pentagon's top policy official, Elbridge Colby, who has long lobbied for the U.S. to pivot away from the Middle East to focus on Asia, was in the hot seat before the Senate Armed Services Committee today.
So you do agree with him now that putting boots on the ground is possible?
Well, I mean, the president has reserved.
Oh, I think so. I think it's going to happen, but not much.
I don't want to know what the president. I've heard what the president said. I want to know what you think.
Well, I'm a lieutenant of the president, so I'm keyed on his intent.
The U.S. military has sunk all 11 of the Iranian
that would be really cool, a lightsaber
type
weapon.
Still have the ability
Maybe
to threaten the Strait of Hormuz with an array of small fast boats and by potentially mining the strait. A word about the Iranian Shahed drones, which are terrorizing the Middle East right now. Iran's Shahed 136 drones were first introduced in 2021. They are 11 feet long and 8 feet wide, about the size of an SUV. They fly slowly, 115 miles per hour, and have a range of more than 1,500 miles. They can be launched from a commercial truck, and their target can be pre-programmed. Their flight time to Gulf states is a matter of minutes, which makes them very hard to defend against. They have been a persistent form of terror used by Russia against Ukraine. The Ukrainians probably have the most experience with how to combat them since the Iranians
Don't want
shared
your comments
the
being
technology
eaten.
with
That
the
would
Russians.
suck.
And one more point, Martha. We've just heard from the president that the U.S. Navy may be starting to escort those oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz as soon as possible. Martha?
All right,
Let's
Jen
see what the
Griffin,
next
thank
video
you
is.
very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, not get it anywhere else.
Well, I got one coming up. Let's see. I think. All righty.
First to Chief National Correspondent.
I got another one for us. That was kind of a short one. I thought it was a longer one, but apparently not. Yeah. Well, when you're 51 years old, Mark, you do begin to lose hair, but I'm very much blessed with a thick head of hair, especially at my age. I knew a guy in high school, Mark. He was 27, and so he started losing his hair at like 17. He was half bald. And by the time the guy was like 25 or 27, something like that, his hair was gone. Just went bye-bye. Yeah. Here's the next video, guys. Here's the next video. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of this one. So where's everybody from? It's always interesting. Today, we actually broke a record on my channel. We had a 300,000th view within just 425 days. And we had 37,000 views when I was live.
Well, Minnesota's Democrat governor
This ought to be good. This ought to be good.
Over U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran. The failed vice presidential candidate posting, quote, "No new wars" on X hours after Operation.
Oh,
Epic
it's Tampon Tim.
But
everybody, I introduced to you.
Critics accusing Walz of trying to change the subject. One user writing, "Just be thankful this is changing the headlines from the Somali fraud."
You know, in my opinion, and yeah, I like to give my opinion, I think Tampon Tim will end up in prison, and his number one goal will to be having tampon dispensers in the men's prison. Every jail cell, Tampon Tim dispensers. Brought to you on behalf by Tim Walz and the Democrat Party. All right, let's get back to it.
Fraud in Minnesota. Another advising Walz to sit this one out, focus on the fraud. Kennedy, this is sort of when I love the internet, when you get to see the everyone come out and say, "What are you doing?" What do you think he's seeing with those responses?
I think it's not as much about what he's seeing as what he's showing us, which is a gift every single day. Because every time Tim Walz opens his mouth or posts about something, especially having to do with foreign policy, you realize the unholy turd storm that we dodged by not electing him as vice president. Because I don't think Kamala Harris would have the spine or the competence to navigate a global crisis like this. I think it would be pretty awful. And it's fine to be anti-war, but that's not the place he's coming from. He's really trying to use everything he possibly can as a distraction for his own political salvation. And that pirate ship has passed.
I also think, frankly, I don't know if I give him that much credit, Marcus. I think that he just always misses the point.
I'm going to go ahead and say that it's not to try to create a distraction. It's just he's just showing us his lack of intelligence to think that this is a bad idea to eliminate a country that is telling you they're going to wipe you off the face of the earth. Seems a little crazy to me. I think it's just a lack of intelligence. It's how he's run the state.
Totally. And Harris, let's broaden the aperture of other Dems that we like to call out. One of them being former Speaker Pelosi, who said that Obama didn't need approval to strike Libya in 2011.
Yeah, exactly.
But now Pelosi.
Oh, everything's different now.
We'll show.
Madam Leader, you're saying that the president did not need authorization initially and still does not need any authorization from Congress on Libya?
Yes. Sent to negotiate.
Thank you all very much.
And now she's flip-flopping, saying that Trump needed approval to strike Iran, saying this on X. President Trump's decision to initiate military hostilities into Iran starts another unnecessary war, which endangers our service members and destabilizes an already fragile region. The Constitution is clear, she writes, decisions that lead our nation into war must be authorized by Congress. Yes. She's not the only one that gave us that whiplash, and that's a complete hypocrite, by the way.
It's so true. Social media was lit up last night.
I can't stand Nancy Pelosi. She drove me nuts for years and years and years.
She felt that way because she liked Obama and she doesn't like Trump. I mean, things are going to change, and they are changing right now, but she basically was looking at similar landscapes and
what's
giving
up,
different
dude?
answers. But I just look at her and I wonder, for all of them who watch, don't they have in their own calculation how many members in Congress now have served? Some of them in the Middle East, which is why you may see that it might be a little harder to do a war powers move than you think. And that's the prayer. They have learned a lot of lessons too. And many of them who are fighting now fight with the memory of those lessons, right? On the backs of so many people who have tried to do what the president is doing now. Let's all root for the country.
I love it.
Let's root for those men and women who are fighting for legacy and fighting for the future. God bless America.
Fighting with memories. I love that. I think we call that bitterness. And I love the juxtaposition online of many of these video images that show, for example, Iranian women celebrating liberation, and then juxtaposed right next to
I got that Fetterman video actually right here.
For some reason.
And
we're going to play it here in a minute.
That Obama was in Libya for more than 3 months. President Trump is totally within his right under the commander-in-chief power embedded in Article 2. So there's that. There's facts. But beyond that, Tim Walz and President Trump, what have each contributed to society? Tim Walz gave us the failed vice presidential bid, as you noticed. He gave us the burning of Minnesota during the riots of 2020. And then, of course, he gave us a multi-billion-dollar fraud scheme. Your money, which just vanished on his watch. And inconceivable in my mind that there were not whistleblowers through the administration that brought this to his attention. President Trump brought us the decimation of Fordo. You have Maduro, who is now in handcuffs. The Ayatollah is dead. At this
I'm not sure. That's actually a very good question.
One dictator
Very
per
interesting
month.
question.
That's President Trump's track record. I will take that over Tim Walz and
I think when the Democrats are running things, all sorts of things happen that don't make any sense, none at all.
The thought that the Somali fraud is somehow just limited to benefiting Somalia is quite naive. And in reality, many of those millions of dollars have then funded terrorist activities. So his incompetence, his blind, willful, either ignorance or approval of that fraud has directly funded what Americans are now fighting against.
Particularly looking at ISIS and al-Shabaab and the radicalization of some of the young people that we saw in trials in Minnesota, not too long ago. Those young men who were children, who were born here or elsewhere and brought here during the wave of immigration.
We should let people stay if they fight for this great country.
Including the person who pleaded guilty yesterday
earn
to
their
taking
citizenship.
hundreds of millions of some of that, autism center money and funneling it directly to Kenya, presumably to al-Shabaab.
Yeah, that's
which
ridiculous.
Is, of course, next door.
What they did was just incomprehensible.
We'll wait for Governor Walz to say to President Trump, thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest.
And then we're going to listen to our good friend on the Democrat side, because he seems to be more Republican, in my opinion, than Democrat. Mr. Got a video on the Forest Service Minute.
Breaking news on the war in Iran. 4 of the 6 U.S. service members who were killed have been identified. These are their pictures just into our newsroom. All were assigned to the 103rd Sustainment Command in Des Moines, Iowa. The victims died in a drone strike in Kuwait.
And then a woman killed.
Into our
That's
newsroom
awful.
This afternoon shows a drone strike hitting near the U.S. consulate in Dubai.
Rob
ABC
Shriver,
has verified this video
welcome in, bud.
online.
Good to see
No one
ya.
was hurt,
I
but
was
today
hoping
Israel
you'd come
stepped up
back.
Airstrikes on Iranian missile launchers. President Trump also took questions in public.
Really quick question. Okay. How many in the know who Max Afterburner is? Max Afterburner USA. He's got a YouTube channel. How many want to go with me in 1/2 hour from now at 8:15? So 30 minutes, wherever you live, it'd be 30 minutes from now. And we're going to go there when he goes live. He is a former F-15 Fighting Eagle pilot. And I do believe he even flew the F-16s. He's retired. I'm from Lake City, Michigan, Rob. I got family in New York. My brother Jimmy, he's a half brother. Jimmy was born when my dad was first married. My dad married my mom. So I got family in Ohio and in New York. But yeah, I'm up about 50 miles south of Traverse City, Michigan, where the Pinky is, right? We go down to Missaukee County. It's 2 counties below Traverse City, or 1 or 2. Anyway, so well, that's true. Yeah, I shouldn't say half, but he is. Hey, brother Ken, how you doing, good buddy? Good to see ya. All right, let's finish. Oh, but anyway, yeah, as I was saying, in 30 minutes, all of you come with me to Max Afterburner USA. It's a blast. He's only live for like a half hour. But let's get back to this video, shall we?
For the first time since the start of the war. Our Rob Hayes is live in the newsroom with all the major headlines today. Rob,
okay, Cambridge, Ohio.
787 people are confirmed dead in Iran since the fighting began.
Wow.
Today, US
not all
America.
We only lost like 6
dramatically intensify
so far.
Their attacks. This as the Senate prepares to vote tomorrow on a resolution that looks to pull the U.S. out of the fighting with Iran. The U.S. Central Command releasing this video of American missile launches around the clock, targeting key Iranian military sites. The Trump administration contradicting itself on the reason for attacking Iran. President Trump today saying he made the call to beat Iran to the punch.
I think they were going to attack first, and I didn't want that to happen. So if anything, I might have forced Israel's hand.
But just yesterday, Secretary
some people were thinking just the opposite.
Israel made the decision to attack, and the U.S. followed.
We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces.
Today, Rubio denied that reasoning, saying it was President Trump's call. The mixed messaging sparking criticism on Capitol Hill.
Of course it would. The Democrats are going to crucify him every chance they could get.
Nuclear weapons,
listen,
missiles.
Iran needed to go. That psychopath needed to go. They've been funding terror for 50 years almost. For most of my lifetime. Let us not forget October 7th. Americans were killed and then taken captive. Cases. They needed to go. I am all for this war. I could care less what the left thinks. President Trump to the Democrats, he could cure cancer. And he would say, oh, that's so terrible. President Trump cured cancer. That's just awful. I can't believe he cured cancer. The wrong person cured cancer. You're okay. Go ahead. It's my Bambino.
An imminent threat to the homeland or a preemptive strike to stop future attacks on the region.
Even well-known Republicans are slamming the administration's attack on Iran.
It's pretty clear.
Yeah, Tucker Carlson, I don't know what to think.
Because no one has explained what we're there to gain.
Frustration with the war is also building outside the U.S. The U.K. has only offered the U.S. limited access to some of its military bases.
Yeah, well, the UK is now controlled by Islam.
U.S. military aircraft
That's why they don't want to help. Islam in Britain would rise up
against the NATO ally and saying he would do as he pleases with Spain's property.
We could use their base if we want. We could just fly in and use it. Nobody's going to tell us not to use it.
Meantime, the U.S. State Department is urging Americans to leave 14 Middle East countries. But with commercial flights grounded, more than 1,500 embassy employees and their families are stranded. Now, those Americans stranded in the Middle East may be coming home soon. The U.S. State Department today saying it's planning to send military and charter flights to fly those people back to the U.S.
All right, you're out of here, dude. Get off my channel. I don't want you here. You're going to act like that? Go back to your mother and get some manners.
So yes, war is ugly and innocent people will be killed. Things could yet go very badly wrong. And there is no guarantee that Iran will get democracy after this. But I've never in years seen a war like this where people in the country being attacked are cheering the bombs. The issue is freedom. Freedom from tyranny and fear.
This. So where's everybody from? I'm just curious. All right, here we go.
A live picture in Tel Aviv, Israel, as new operations, new details on exactly what was struck. We saw over 1,000 targets struck as of yesterday, and that continues to increase. Let's take you out to this, a video posted by Central Command on social media about some of their operations. Let's listen in here on Live Now.
Good afternoon. I'm Admiral Brad Cooper, the commander of United States Central Command. In this capacity, I lead U.S. military forces in the Middle East. I'm here to provide you an update on Operation Epic Fury, now in our 4th day of execution. First, I'd like to express my deepest
Minnesota. I went to Bible
to the
college
families
in
and
Minnesota.
teammates of the extraordinary
We got
Americans
Florida in the house.
who've been killed in action. And I'd also like to extend our prayers
Russia.
for speedy recovery to the wounded.
Cincy.
Yesterday, you heard from Secretary Hegseth and the chairman of the Joint
South
Chiefs.
Carolina.
Today, I'd like to give you an operational update on where we are and provide you with some key facts. By order of the President of the United States and the Secretary of War, our military in the Middle East is undertaking an unprecedented operation to eliminate Iran's ability to threaten Americans, as they've been doing for nearly half a century. Having spent more than 36 years in the military, I could not be prouder of America's sons and daughters in uniform who are answering the call. More than 50,000 troops, 200 fighters, 2 aircraft carriers, and bombers from the United States are participating.
I couldn't be more proud either.
And more capability is on the way.
That's awesome.
These forces bring a massive amount of firepower, representing the largest buildup by the U.S. in the Middle East in a generation.
I know. Brother Ken, a good point. He looks young.
U.S. Central Command forces, together with Israel, delivered overwhelming and unprecedented strikes into Iran. Many of you may remember the shock and awe strikes of 2003. The first 24 hours of this operation were nearly double the scale, and we continue with 24/7 strikes into Iran from seabed to space and cyberspace. Now, we're less than 100 hours into this operation.
Yeah, he does look like a kid, Ken. He looks really young, but we're getting older.
Munitions.
I mean, I'm 51. We got Brooklyn, New York in the house.
Iran's air defenses and destroyed hundreds of Iran's ballistic missiles, launchers, and drones. And in
So we got Brooklyn in the house. We got Minnesota. I was in Oakdale, Minnesota for 2 years. Minnesota is freezing cold, but Michigan's not much warmer. And sometimes Michigan's even worse, and that's where I'm at now. Alberta, Canada in the house. Brooklyn, New York. We do love our Canadian brothers. Amen. Let's see here. Cincinnati, a couple Cincinnati in the house. Right on. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, we love Florida. We got Florida in the house. Well, Brother Ken's like 54 or something. Yeah. And I'll be 52 in February. I just turned 51. Michigan. I'm in Michigan myself, Bradley. Check this out. I met a guy 9 miles from my house today. On here. He's 9 miles from my house and listening to my channel, and we have no idea who each other is. We got Alabama, Ohio. I lived on the east side of Cleveland from the time I was like 2 to the time I was 5. We got 82-year-old in here. Awesome. Bradley, so you say you're from Michigan. Can you say where you're from, or is that kind of private? Okay, you're from St. John's. I'm from Lake City. Computer, how far is St. John's from Lake City, Michigan?
1 moment.
It's like 110 miles.
It's about 4.8 miles away, and
No,
will take you
computer.
around 8 minutes to drive there on
Computer.
A55.
St. John's, Michigan from Lake City, Michigan was about 110 miles.
Sure, let me take a look. You're absolutely right. It's about 120 miles away and would take you around an hour and 45 minutes to
Okay,
drive
computer,
there on US
end. All right, so here we go. We're going to get Fetterman on screen after this here. This is about halfway done. Fetterman is on queue, and not Q from Star Trek, by the way. He's in the queue, not on queue.
Focused on shooting all the things that can shoot at us. Our
That's
B-2
right.
bombers and B-1 bombers
Oh, what a
have
beautiful
executed
sight.
uncontested surgical strikes against multiple missile facilities.
Michigan in the house.
And then
That's
just last
down
night,
by,
a
isn't that in the
B-52
thumb
bomber
area?
force
I think
struck
that's
ballistic
thumb.
missile and command and control posts. We are also sinking the Iranian Navy, the entire Navy.
The entire.
Thus far, we've destroyed 17 Iranian
love this
ships,
guy.
including the most operational Iranian submarine that now has a hole in its side. For decades, the Iranian regime has harassed international shipping. Today, there's not a single Iranian ship underway in the Arabian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, or Gulf of Oman, and we will not stop. We will continue to conduct dynamic targeting operations. We're hunting Iran's last remaining mobile ballistic missile launchers to eliminate what I would characterize as their lingering launch capability. Now, in retaliation, the Iranian regime has launched over 500 ballistic missiles and over 2,000 drones. To be clear, Iran is indiscriminately targeting civilians as they launch these missiles and drones. You've seen it on TV. The evidence is crystal clear and overwhelming. Having said this, we are seeing Iran's ability to hit us and our partners is declining, while our combat power, on the other hand, is building. And my overall operational assessment is that we are ahead of our game plan. Along the way, every single branch of our military is achieving unprecedented success. I'll talk about just a few of them. Our naval forces have deployed multiple waves of cruise missiles, obliterating Iranian command and control and air defense capabilities. From 2 aircraft carrier strike groups, we're squeezing Iran from the sea and have them backed into their own ports. U.S. air forces are doing what they do best, executing a high volume of airstrikes right into Iran. Operationally, the 2 most powerful air forces in the world, the U.S. and Israel, are dominating the skies of the world's largest state sponsor of terror. Our U.S. Army soldiers are defending ourselves and our partners, and in a historic first, the U.S. Army fired long-range precision strike missiles called PRISMs in combat, providing an unrivaled deep strike capability. Also for the first time, U.S. Central Command's drone task force, called Task Force Scorpion Strike, launched countless one-way attack drones, achieving massive effects.
Now this is
I'd like to
interesting.
point out
Computer,
these drones
end.
were originally an
Stop.
Iranian design. We took them back to America, made them better, and fired them right back at Iran. I just could not be prouder of our men and women in uniform, leveraging
Computer,
innovation to
shut
create
up
dilemmas
and
for the
stop
enemy.
listening. You're frustrating
There is
me.
no adversary too determined, no mission too difficult for the
I
great
hear you're
soldiers,
feeling
sailors, airmen,
I'm here to help when
Marines,
you're ready to
Guardians, and
talk
Coast
about
Guardsmen
what's bothering you.
that make
Computer,
up the
end.
most powerful military the world has ever seen. Our military
I
objectives
apologize, guys.
are
I'm
crystal
sorry.
clear, and our
Did he just say that they took Iranian drones back to the United States and basically like made them better and then used them against them? I thought I could have sworn he said that. Pastor Benjamin Kreitz. Oh, I almost decked my cat on accident. Whoops. I went, Pastor Benjamin. I almost punched her out. Baby. Pastor Benjamin is up in the house. Yeah, good to see you, Pastor Ben. All right, you need to make your mind up. Okay, this way? Sure. Bye. And yeah, so that's pretty interesting that their drones made it better, and then use their own drones against it. That's fantastic. All right, let's get back to this.
People
Good
are
to see you, Pastor
executing an
Kreitz.
immensely complex and historic mission with relentless lethality, conviction, and professionalism. And we've just begun.
Pastor
But I
Benjamin
have the
Kreitz has
utmost
a
confidence
Christian
that
ministry
we, alongside
channel.
our partners, will absolutely achieve our military objectives.
I want you guys
to all
to
our
check.
warriors, Godspeed. Thanks so much.
Listen to our good brother Fetterman. I don't know if we want to call him good brother, but he is a fellow American, is he not?
And so as we're talking about some of the military side of things, I do want to put this up on your screen. This has been put out there by Fox News within the last hour or so, saying that the U.S. consulate in Dubai was hit by an Iranian drone. This was according to diplomatic
I think we've
sources.
seen this one already.
This has since been
All right,
confirmed.
here we go. We got another one though right here.
State Marco Rubio. And so to talk a lot more.
So I got about 10 minutes left, guys. I'm going to go to Max Afterburner USA. Max Afterburner USA on YouTube. He is a veteran of the United States military. Thank you. And he used to fly F-15 Fighting Eagle. And I think he also flew the F-16 Fighting Falcon. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Oh, yes. Your information on Pastor Benjamin Kreitz and our good brother Ken has a Christian ministry YouTube channel. Hey, Pastor Kreitz. Actually, I think I got let me put up Mr. Fetterman, and then I'll get you all that information. Because I've been wanting to hear this Fetterman one, too. Pastor Kreitz is a great teacher. He's right here, my moderator, actually. And Brother Ken is a good teacher as well. All righty, so let's go ahead and get Fetterman online. Punch it, Chewy.
Senator Fetterman, can you come to the mics? Can you come to the mics? Did the administration detail what the end game is here about when this war may actually end and how they plan to achieve their objective?
I'm saying it's like I think we can all agree. I mean, find a senator in here that says we should never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear bomb. Have you know anyone that says they're okay with them having a nuclear weapon? I haven't met any of them. So for me, this entire thing was that end game is make sure that's destroyed, I'm sure. That's part of it, make sure there's no way they could ever acquire a nuclear bomb. And it seems that. And then also the other missile technologies with that. So everything that I've heard there, to me, it just essentially there's no new shocking kinds of news or any of it.
But wasn't the nuclear program set back in June when when the attacks initially happened? Why did this additional attack need to happen?
Well, that's part of the brief.
What did they tell you?
Senator, are you comfortable with the fact that Congress was left out of the decision-making process?
Well, what does the War Powers Resolution in 73 say? It says that the president has to provide 48 hours of notification, and he's done that. And then they have up to 60 days, perhaps a 30 days extension. And there's no boots on.
Okay, so here's Pastor Benjamin Kreitz YouTube channel. Go check him out. He's got good stuff. He just did a great 6-part message on speaking in tongues in the scripture. And not just the initial evidence of receiving the Holy Ghost, but all the other things that, like tongues and interpretation, all that stuff. Yes, honey. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's good. That's beautiful. Absolute perfection, my child. Absolute perfection, as my children are. Also, my good brother Ken right here, up in the chat, moderator, also has a YouTube channel, and that is right here. A good Christian YouTube channel. Bringing the word of God. All three of us men we're kind of like a team. I'm the monkey in the middle. I'm like middle so you got Pastor Christ 41, 51, and I think Brother Ken's 58. So I'm the monkey in the middle. I'm like the stepchild in the middle that doesn't get no attention. Oh, and his skin. At heart of Yeshua, and that's what's an H at the end. Thank you. I feel smarter. I got beaten ahead by a loaf of bread. And this is Brother Ken right here in our chat. You are welcome, gentlemen. You are my friends in Christ and just my friends in general. All right, guys, go there and give them a subscription. I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you are, you can just beat me, the monkey in the middle. Let's get back to Mr. Fetterman.
On the ground, and it's been into 100 hours so far. So where has anything been broken or they haven't made every standard?
How do you describe the fact that how do you describe the fact that you're the only Senate Democrat, though, with that position?
Because maybe I'm the Democrat. I'm aware that it's pretty toxic for a Democrat to say I happen to agree with the president on really anything at this point.
I love this guy.
Again,
I do. Fetterman is awesome.
Someone that opposes this, saying they've all said we can never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear bomb. Then what's your, and that seems like that's happening. Why can't you just acknowledge that's a good thing?
Yes.
Why not?
Acknowledge it.
No. Like, why can't? Why can't you just say that? It's like, this is 47 years. It's like sanctions and treaties and all kinds of other negotiations and things. Nothing's worked, and that's clearly that's the case. So why can't we all just say the world is safer and it's more just now because of that? What this happens, you don't have to agree on everything, but it's like, yes, I'm the only Democrat because I'm not afraid of my base to just say, you know what, this was overall a good thing. You don't have to agree on everything. So I'm going to be honest. So, why can't you just acknowledge that one of the most evil people on the face of the earth was erased? That's a good thing.
Can't you do both? Can't you do both? And I think there are questions about the scope of the operation moving forward, how long it will last. 6 service members have already been
Well, I mean, no one knows exactly how long it's going.
Do you see how sick, demented, I dare say that they went from Trump derangement syndrome to, I'm not kidding. I'll tell you the truth, not what you want to hear. I don't care. I don't. I care about your soul. I care about our president. The American left is a joke. Scroll to the flag. And this one Democrat is the one honest human out of all the left. Did you know Benny Johnson? Everybody loves Benny Johnson. I do too. Benny Johnson has an episode of his show. He just posted it a little bit ago. Apparently, Ilhan Omar, puke, get her out of here. Apparently, Ilhan Omar tipped off Iran about something or another about our attacking. If that is true, if that is accurate, I'm calling for the death penalty for treason. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe in some way, shape, or form, Iran got the information it needed, and that could be very well why some of our people are dead. Again, I'll tell you the truth, not what you want me to say. I don't care.
How it's going to last overall. I mean, that's, who knows? But really, that's also what's really also undeniable is that Iran has seriously been degraded.
At minimum, she should be kicked out of our country. Maybe not death penalty, but
really,
kicked out.
all of this other kinds of small things, they're just cheap drones being fired off at random nations there. If anything, they continue to isolate themselves. If anything, you could see like a good opportunity to now move them more towards Abraham Accords. There are these small things, but where is all of things beyond those small kinds of things? Overall, Iran has been effectively degraded in a way where they really have limited, if any, capabilities at this point.
So why should Congress assert its constitutional role and actually vote to declare war the way it did with Iraq? And
the last war we've actually declared was World War II.
Well, I'll have to say this. What's her name? Hain? We got the oil from Venezuela. We don't need their oil.
No, Iraq and Afghanistan. There were AUMF.
Afghanistan. Okay, all right, Afghanistan. Okay, so for me right now, what is it now? The War Powers resolution.
You're out of here,
60
dude.
days.
You're not going to talk like that. Here, go get some manners from your mother.
What's at this point?
Yeah,
and also, I want to say on this, it's like, we can't keep our government open. We've shut it down for 45 days, and now the entire DH thing is shut down. We can't even maintain our core responsibilities to keep our government open. It's so right now.
We do. We need those oil prices.
Position on war powers in terms of a ground invasion into Iran.
What? No, I'm saying it's like this is.
The U.S. have done more to protect Americans who are now stranded abroad. Israel received a warning on Friday before this attack for an authorized departure there, but there are many Americans in other countries now without.
Anything else?
Senator, do Americans have anything to be concerned about with regard to retaliation here domestically? Any cells that we need to worry about? Anything?
I don't have any specific kinds of intelligence on that, of course, but our DHS system is shut down, so that's probably not great timing for that. And again, I'm the only Democrat that votes that's wrong to do that. Yeah, we all want to make some changes on ICE, but we all know that won't have any impact what they've done, and now it's shut down.
Do you support regime change inside Iran?
What?
Do you support regime change inside Iran by President Trump?
Well, I thought that's part of, a regime change. It's like the top 55 of them were killed, and I think they just blew up 80 of the randoms mullahs, too. That was pretty great, actually. So, all right.
Senator, administration officials can.
Okay, that end on it. Okay, guys, that's perfect timing. I got to go over to. Oh, that's interesting. We might watch this when I come back. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, that's nuts. Okay, so go for now. If you want to follow me over to Max Afterburner, you can. Let me go ahead and get his link. Well, I'll just put it. You guys can just look for him on YouTube. It's Max Afterburner, and he's going live in about 4 minutes, and I'm moderating for him. Max Afterburner USA. You guys are welcome. Listen, come on over to his channel. He's only going to be live for like 35, 40 minutes, half hour maybe. Let him know you're from Mike Shriver Ministries. And if Brother Ken will be there, you should be too. If Brother Ken's going, the rest of us need to go too. Amen. Come on, guys. Go check out Max Afterburner. Let's give him a ton of people. He's already going to have 12 or 13,000. Let's give him another, 800. So I will end this stream right now. We got to go. I will see you over at Max. We're going live any minute. Thanks, guys, for being here. I appreciate all of you. And never forget that Jesus Christ is our great God and Savior. I'll see you soon over at Max. And when he's done, I'll be back on as well.